Hello. Today we're going to discuss the Excel Data Manager for Clarity. What this does is allow you to load in information from other areas out of Excel into Clarity, or it allows you to grab data from within Clarity, pull it into Excel spreadsheet, and modify it. The nice thing about this is it supports about 30 different interfaces into Clarity, leveraging the APIs. It's easy to extend and configure, meaning if you need more, we absolutely can configure and add to that. It provides this custom ribbon in Excel. You can see here that you can get data. We've got a couple of the objects that we have available. We're going to play with projects today. You can determine where and how you want to manage that data. This keeps all the lookups, so it does all the data validation as you go along the process. And so you can manage to that. And as we get into this, you're going to see this validate data come alive. And what that's going to do is check all of your entries, just like you were entering it straight through Clarity. So it's pretty cool on what you do. So for now, we're going to simply grab some information for the projects. It's going to say, well, what do you want? And we can go add a status. We can put a code. We can enter project names. Whatever makes sense for you and your team. So if we want to do an asterisk, product, asterisk, and get the data, it's going to then give us a list of the information that have product in the name. And you see we now have all of the pieces there. I can go in and then update different components, and it'll validate that and allow me to change them. And so here, in this case, you'll see that this is grayed out. I don't have the ability to update or change that. I can go in here and I can change this to say that this isn't true anymore, that it's not active. And I can say not true. I can use drop downs and pull downs in the different information to make the update. And so I can enter new dates. You'll notice as I change, it's going to show that I changed that information, and I can scroll to the right and see other pieces of information that are available to me in that. If there is a drop down available, it'll give you the drop down in that particular scenario and allow you to see what the options are. So you can see here, we double clicked and we got a pop up, and we can pick, from that, or we could use the drop down there. The pop-up's really good if you have 30 or 40 values, because it allows you to search through it versus scrolling for days in the drop-down box. So after I get done making updates, I can go in and do the validation. After I get done making updates, you'll see now that the validate is available. And so I can validate my entries. And I knew that I entered something bad. It says incorrect data is highlighted in yellow. So you can see that it highlights, and then it says, hey, that value must be true or false. So my entry of not true didn't, or no true in this case. So I can just enter the information as DB. Shows that I update it. I can validate it. It says, hey, all that data is correct. And then I simply load the data back into Clarity. And it's going to send me an email to suggest that I have that information, and it will make that update in Clarity for that one project that I made the change for. And so that's the concept of actually, getting data. If you have a template that you've had somebody filled out, you're allowed to create a template. So I can go grab a template, and I can say get a project template. And I just so happen to have one out there that I named Bob. I'm going to open that information up, and I can see I have this EDM project in there. I can modify or update it. We'll call this Bob's project. And so this template functionality basically allows you to send this spreadsheet to someone else and go through the process of having them fill it out, and then you just pull it up and run it. As you're running it, you can add or change data as I'm doing now. The concept here is really thinking about this as the concept of saying, hey, I'm grabbing now data from another solution, right? Or a spreadsheet that I'm just loading into new. All of the required fields have a little asterisk in front of them. Clarity has an auto numbering, and so to use the auto numbering, you're just going to put in a -1, and then it requires a start date and end date. You'll see the stars there. We'll start this in 26, and we'll end it in 26 as well. And so I've entered a couple pieces of data. I'm going to hit validate. Oh, it says I need to do is active. So I'm going to say true. We saw that before. And let's see, is there any other data over here? Oh, I need to tell it where it belongs. So we'll put it in all organizations. And you could have predefined that. You could have copied and pasted it. And so now we've got all the components. And so as I mentioned, it just like when you were entering data into Clarity, it's going to validate that and give you that information. And then it's going to actually allow you to load that data. Again, I get that email. Hopefully this was helpful. An overview of the Excel Data Manager, the ability to grab and change information from within Clarity, or to grab a template spreadsheet that you're going to load information into all those different objects. Have a great day.